Everyone has been lying. They say if you don't squeeze a heavy clutch 300 times in traffic, you aren't a real biker. But what happens at 45 when decades of work leave you with popping knees in carpal tunnel? Do you quit? Absolutely not. Today, I'm revealing 10 automatic and DCT motorcycles that eliminate fatigue and extend your riding career by decades. Wait until number 1. It makes manuals look like Stone Age technology. It's time to stop letting joint pain dictate your passion. Let's go. Number 10. The Aprilia Mana 850. We begin our list with an Italian pioneer. Released back in 2008, the Aprilia Mana 850 was decades ahead of its time. It looks exactly like a traditional, aggressive, naked street bike, but where the clutch lever should be, there is nothing. It uses an electronic continuously variable transmission, or ECVT. What does it feel like? It feels like an infinite rubber band of power. There are no gears shifting. You simply twist the throttle, the engine RPMs hold steady in the meat of the power band, and you surge forward. However, low-speed control requires a specific technique. Because it uses a centrifugal clutch system, the bike does not creep forward like an automatic car. You have to give it a decent twist of the throttle to get the clutch to engage, which can feel jerky in a tight parking lot. The secret is to drag the rear brake heavily while keeping the RPMs up. Once you master that, U-turns are a breeze. Power delivery from the 839cc V-twin is smooth and predictable, producing around 76 horsepower. It won't rip your arms off, but it will easily gap traffic. Expect around 150 miles of fuel range from the tank, which is located under the rear seat, leaving the traditional gas tank area as a massive storage compartment for a full-face helmet. Reliability is generally solid for the engine, but you must respect the belt. The ECVT drive belt must be changed every 12,000 miles. If you ignore this, it will snap and strand you. You can find these on the used market between $3,000 and $5,000. Target the 2010 and newer GT models with a small windshield. Avoid any high-mileage Mana that does not have documented proof of a recent belt replacement. The Mana is quirky, but what if you need a motorcycle specifically designed for riders with terrible knees and a tight budget? Our next bike is an ugly duckling that hides a brilliant secret. Number 9. The Honda CTX700 DCT. Honda built the CTX700 specifically for people who are physically aging out of motorcycling. It is a cruiser-tourer hybrid that looks undeniably weird, but the ergonomics are absolutely flawless for anyone with joint issues. It utilizes Honda's second-generation dual-clutch transmission. Unlike a CVT rubber band, a DCT physically shifts real gears, just like a manual, but a computer operates 2 separate clutches to do it faster and smoother than any human could. It feels exactly like driving a high-end European sports car. You hear the mechanical click as it grabs the next gear, but there is no lurching. Low-speed control is magnificent. The low center of gravity means the bike practically balances itself at 5 miles per hour. While the early DCT can feel slightly abrupt right off the line, rolling on the throttle smoothly while dragging the rear brake makes parking lot maneuvers completely stress-free. The power delivery from the 670cc parallel twin is tractor-like. It is a low-revving engine that runs out of breath quickly, but delivers massive low-end torque. It is predictable, unintimidating, and returns an absolutely staggering 65 miles per gallon, giving you over 200 miles of range. Reliability is bulletproof. This engine was originally designed by Honda's automotive division by essentially chopping a Honda Fit engine in half. It requires virtually zero maintenance other than oil changes. Used prices range from $4,000 to $6,000. Look for the fairing version for highway riding. There are no specific years to avoid. They simply refuse to die. If you are tired of the latest bikers telling you what you can and cannot ride, hit that subscribe button right now. We build our community on real-world practicality, not gatekeeping ego. Number 8. The Yamaha T-Max 560. You might be screaming at your screen right now, that is a scooter. You are right, it is a scooter, and it will absolutely embarrass most sport bikes in a tight canyon. The Yamaha T-Max is the undisputed king of the maxi scooters. It uses a highly refined CVT transmission that is incredibly direct. Unlike cheaper scooters that rev wildly before moving, the T-Max engages immediately. It feels taut. It feels sporty. Let me tell you about a rider named Gary. Gary had a garage full of Ducati superbikes but developed severe arthritis in his left hand. He bought a T-Max as a joke. 3 months later, he sold the Ducatis. The T-Max allowed him to break deep into corners using both hands on the handlebars with zero clutch fatigue and roll out with perfect, uninterrupted power delivery. Low-speed handling is exceptional. Because the engine is mounted firmly in the frame, not on the swing arm like cheap scooters, the weight distribution is 50-50. You can do figure eights in a single parking space all day long. Yamaha reliability is legendary. The CVT requires a belt change every 12,000 miles, but the engine block itself is indestructible. These hold their value incredibly well. Expect to pay between $8,000 and $12,000 for a clean used model. Target the 2020 and newer models for the upgraded engine and tech. The T-Max rules the pavement, but what if you want a scooter that can jump dirt bumps? Our next machine is a mutant built by Honda that defies all logic. Number 7. The Honda X-ADV 750. The Honda X-ADV is a Frankenstein's monster in the best way possible. It is half Africa Twin adventure bike, half maxi scooter, all tied together with Honda's brilliant DCT system. This is the bike for the aging rider who lives down a 5-mile dirt road but wants the weather protection of a scooter. It features long travel suspension and spoked wheels, completely absorbing potholes that would shatter the spine of a traditional cruiser rider. Low-speed control is a bit top-heavy compared to the T-Max, but the DCT is programmed beautifully. It slips the dual clutches seamlessly at 2 miles per hour, completely eliminating the lurch found in earlier generations. Power delivery is strong, sharing the same torquey 745cc engine as the NC750 series. It gets amazing fuel economy, easily 60 miles per gallon, and the upright, commanding riding posture gives you incredible visibility in traffic. Mechanically, it is a tank. Honda's DCT has been refined over a decade, and catastrophic failures are virtually unheard of. And just change the DCT oil filter when you change your engine oil. Because they are highly sought after globally, used prices remain high, usually between $9,000 and $13,000. Buy any year you can find, but be aware they are incredibly hard to source in the North American market. The X-ADV is a rugged mutant, but what if you want the absolute pinnacle of rolling luxury? What if you want to cross continents sitting on a 2-wheeled sofa? Number 6. The Suzuki Burgman 650 Executive. When riders discuss the most comfortable motorcycles ever built, the Goldwing usually wins. But right behind it, silently waiting, is the Suzuki Burgman 650 Executive. This is not a scooter. This is a 2-wheeled recliner. This is the ultimate machine for the older touring rider who can no longer wrestle a 900-pound touring bike off the side stand. The Burgman weighs over 600 pounds, but because all that weight is resting at your ankles, it feels like it weighs half that. Low-speed maneuverability is shockingly good. Because of the electronic clutch, there is a very predictable creep point. You can navigate a gravel parking lot at walking speed without ever putting your feet down. The 638cc parallel twin is shockingly fast. It will easily cruise at 90 miles per hour all day long without breaking a sweat. The aerodynamics push the wind completely over your helmet, and the massive seat offers incredible lumbar support. Fuel range is around 160 miles. Reliability is generally excellent, but there is one major catch. The transmission uses a complex stopper bolt that must be inspected and replaced regularly. It is a $5 part. If you ignore it, the transmission will self-destruct, and it costs $3,000 to replace. Because of this fear, used prices are dirt cheap. You can find immaculate garage-kept models for $3,000 to $5,000. Buy a 2013 or newer model to avoid the early transmission gremlins. Are you finding value in this breakdown? Hit the like button so the algorithm knows that practical, real-world motorcycle advice matters more than clickbait crash compilations. Number 5. The Honda NT1100 DCT. Introduced recently to the global market, the NT1100 is Honda's answer to the rider who wants a fast, capable sport touring motorcycle without the knee-crushing ergonomics or a heavy clutch. It uses the third-generation DCT borrowed from the Africa Twin. This transmission feels telepathic. If you are braking hard into a corner, the computer instantly downshifts 2 gears, perfectly rev matching, giving you optimal engine braking. When you roll on the throttle out of the apex, it short shifts seamlessly. This is the perfect use case for the 50-year-old rider who used to ride aggressively on sport bikes, but now prioritizes comfort. The ergonomics are completely upright, relieving all pressure from the wrists and lower back. Low-speed control is highly refined. The newer DCT algorithms use ride-by-wire throttles to slip the clutches flawlessly. You can execute full-lock U-turns with zero fear of the engine stalling and dropping you. The 1084cc parallel twin delivers over 100 horsepower. It is punchy, aggressive, and sounds incredible. It features a massive 5-gallon tank yielding over 200 miles of range and a massive adjustable windscreen. Reliability is stellar. This engine has been proven in the brutal conditions of the Dakar Rally via the Africa Twin. Used prices are hovering around $12,000 to $14,000. There are no bad years yet, but be aware that finding one in the US market can be difficult as it is wildly popular in Europe. The NT1100 is a precision carving tool. But what if you just want to cruise? What if you want the classic American Rebel look without the archaic tractor transmission? Number 4. The Honda Rebel 1100 DCT. For decades, the cruiser market was dominated by massive, heavy, clunky V-twins with clutches so stiff you needed forearm implants to pull them in traffic. The Honda Rebel 1100 DCT completely shattered that paradigm. It utilizes the same advanced DCT as the NT1100, but tuned specifically for a cruiser feel. It holds gears slightly longer to give you that muscular, low RPM pull. In sport mode, it shifts aggressively and violently fast. In rain mode, it shifts early and softly. It feels like having 3 completely different motorcycles in one. The Rebel weighs a shockingly low 500 pounds. Compared to an 800-pound Harley, this thing feels like a bicycle. Low-speed maneuvering is an absolute dream. The seat height is a microscopic 27.5 inches. You can paddle walk this bike backward up an incline with zero stress. Power delivery is explosive for a cruiser. It borrows the Africa Twin engine, meaning it will completely smoke traditional air-cooled cruisers stoplight to stoplight. Highway comfort is decent, though the lack of a fairing means you take the wind on your chest. Range is slightly limited by a small 3.6-gallon tank, giving you about 130 miles. Maintenance is practically non-existent. Lube the chain, change the oil, and ride. Used prices are fantastic, sitting between $8,000 and $10,000. Target the 2021 and newer models. The Rebel is the ultimate modern cruiser. But what if you need a motorcycle that functions like a Swiss Army knife? The next bike would blow your mind. Number 3. The Honda NC750X DCT. If practicality was a religion, the Honda NC750X would be its god. This is the most rational motorcycle ever built. It features Honda's hyper-refined second-generation DCT. It feels incredibly utilitarian. It shifts early to save gas, keeping the engine in the optimal torque curve. It doesn't want to race, it wants to get the job done. This is the ultimate commuter and daily appliance for the aging rider. Why? Because the gas tank between your knees is not a gas tank. It is a massive storage trunk that swallows a full-face helmet or a bag of groceries. The actual gas tank is under the seat. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah rode for 30 years but developed severe sciatica. She bought this bike. The completely neutral, upright seating position cured her back pain. The DCT saved her arthritic left hand, and the front trunk meant she never had to wear a heavy backpack again. She put 80,000 miles on it. Low-speed control is completely predictable, and the engine's low center of gravity makes it feel incredibly light. Power is mild, 58 horsepower, but torque is instantly available. It delivers a staggering 70 miles per gallon, meaning the 3.7-gallon tank gets you well over 200 miles. You can find these gently used for $5,000 to $8,000. Get a 2016 model or newer. The NC is practical, but what if the pavement ends? What if you want to cross a desert without stalling on a sand dune? Number 2. The Honda Africa Twin DCT. Off-road purists screamed when Honda announced they were putting an automatic transmission in their flagship adventure bike. They said it would be dangerous. They said it would fail. They were all wrong. The Africa Twin DCT is an off-road cheat code. It uses a highly advanced IMU-linked DCT. The motorcycle knows its lean angle, its pitch, and whether you are going uphill or downhill. It feels like having a professional off-road racer operating your clutch for you. The use case here is the older adventure rider who is tired of burning up clutches on steep, rocky inclines. When you are standing on the pegs, navigating a boulder field, the last thing you want to worry about is stalling the bike. The DCT makes it impossible to stall. You just look where you want to go and roll the throttle. Low-speed control is highly adjustable through the electronic suite, but learning to trail brake the rear wheel is mandatory for tight off-road switchbacks. The 1084cc engine pushes 100 horsepower with incredible traction-finding torque. The suspension is world-class, absorbing massive hits and saving your knees and spine. Fuel range easily exceeds 220 miles. Mechanically, the DCT has proven itself in the most brutal environments on Earth. It adds 22 pounds of weight, but the trade-off in saved energy is massive. Used DCT models range from $10,000 to $15,000. Target the 2020 and newer 1084cc models for the updated electronics and lighter frame. Do you like this video? Click that like button, and if you want to support us even more, become a member, have early access to the newest videos. The Africa Twin conquers the dirt, but our number one pick conquers the entire world. It is the undisputed king of luxury, engineering, and effortless riding. Number 1. The Honda Goldwing DCT. This is it, the absolute apex of motorcycle engineering. When Honda completely redesigned the Goldwing in 2018, they introduced a 7-speed DCT that changed the touring landscape forever. This transmission feels like a high-speed bullet train. It shifts so quickly and so smoothly that the only way you know the gear changed is by looking at the dashboard or hearing the exhaust note drop. It has a dedicated walking mode that allows you to creep forward and backward using the transmission, completely eliminating the fear of parking a 900-pound motorcycle on an incline. It reduces rider fatigue by a massive margin. You sit behind an electrically adjustable barn door of a windshield, enveloped in a cocoon of still air, listening to Apple CarPlay, while the bike handles every single gear shift flawlessly. Low-speed control is where the Goldwing shines brightest. Despite its massive size, the horizontally opposed 6-cylinder engine keeps the weight literally inches off the ground. Once you're moving above 3 miles per hour, the weight completely vanishes. The 1833cc flat 6 engine produces 126 horsepower and massive torque. It does not vibrate, it hums. It gets around 42 miles per gallon, giving you a safe range of 200 miles. Reliability? It is a Goldwing. It will outlast your house. You will pay a premium for this perfection. Used 2018 and newer DCT models hold tight between $18,000 and $25,000. The one reason to stay manual. I have spent this entire video praising automatics, but I owe you the honest truth. There is one valid reason to stick with a manual transmission: the analog connection. When you perfectly rev-match a downshift, feather the clutch through a hairpin corner, and blast out the other side, there is a deep psychological dopamine hit. You are physically connected to the machine's heartbeat. An automatic removes one layer of that visceral connection. If your primary joy in motorcycling is the mechanical dance of your left hand and left foot, a DCT will feel slightly sterile. But if your primary joy is the wind, the scenery, and the freedom, and your body is begging for mercy, swallowing your pride and buying an automatic will save your riding career. Which of these effortless machines would you put in your garage? Let me know in the comments below. Click the next video to continue the road trip. Join our tribe by subscribing. And if you want to support our channel and have early access on the newest videos, become a member. And don't forget to like this video.